A glowing, volatile neon liquid is surging violently into Homelander's system. He has injected himself with V1, crossing a line avoided for 5 years. For 5 seasons, Homelander's invincibility sat isolated at the very top of a power hierarchy, a narrative safety net. Episode 6 destroys that. The established power ceiling fractures and scatters across the board, throwing years of predictability out the window. Removing a safety net right before the final 2 hours of a series triggers a very specific anxiety. It's the Stranger Things syndrome, the dread that comes when a show abandons its status quo just as the clock is running out. The creators are utilizing the fear of missing out as a narrative tool. By pushing past the point of no return now, the episode forces the audience to keep pace or risk being left behind as the story moves into its final phase. This is a structural demolition of the show's established rules. They've engineered a total vacuum, leaving us totally blind to how the finale resolves. We see this collapse mirrored internally during a bizarrely tender interaction in a theater. Homelander calls an elderly worker kiddo and son, actively searching for a father figure. For a character built on the image of an untouchable god, this search for paternal connection is a psychological crack. It reveals a level of desperation that he can no longer hide behind a cape. While Homelander breaks down internally, the Deep is crossing his own irreversible lines. By committing a revenge kill, he has moved into a state of total aggression. He is completely cooked, and he knows it. He has reached a point where his survival is no longer his primary concern, mirroring the collapse of the institutional armor that once protected the Seven. The heroes have reached the same extreme psychological state. Starlight and Kimiko are now operating with an absolute readiness to sacrifice their own lives to achieve their objectives. The danger here is psychological. Every piece on the board has now abandoned the instinct for self-preservation. On the tactical chessboard, Sister Sage's double-minded manipulation has successfully secured the bomb site and the V1 compound, setting the stage for the final collision. Then there is Soldier Boy. He is operating as a volatile wildcard, plagued by psychological mood swings that make his next move impossible to map. But his real threat is purely mechanical. The episode reveals that Soldier Boy can physically strip a Supa of their abilities, drawing blood from a target that was previously considered invincible. This schematic radar map illustrates the coming collision. You have an energy radius expanding outward, representing Soldier Boy's power-stripping ability, closing in on an unstable, pulsing node. That node is Homelander. As that node aggressively oscillates, swelling and collapsing, we see Homelander's eyes glowing with V1. We have to ask if this injection is a power multiplier or if he just triggered a biological self-destruct button. The showrunners have engineered a collision by locking a mutated, desperate god in a room with the only entity possessing the exact mechanics required to kill him. Throughout these critical final hours, the cast of Gen V has been nowhere to be found. Omitting those crossover characters ensures the creators don't have to rely on cameos to resolve the narrative conflicts. This isolation creates a brutal focus. The climax will be fought solely among the legacy characters we have tracked for years. It leaves the audience in a dual emotion loop, the excitement of the spectacle and the dread that the finale is going to break our hearts. It leaves us with one final question. What specific physical toll will the V1 injection take on Homelander when he finally faces the one man who can strip his power? Episode 6 erased the show's safety net, transforming a superhero finale into an